Okay. So we're live on YouTube?
We should be, yeah.
All right, yeah, curious to get the chat going because there's some... we'll let it populate a bit first. But the Miranda Lambert selfie taker at the show, Miranda Lambert stopped the show because somebody's taking a selfie. It annoyed her. And Mark said he's uncovered some additional information on Miranda Lambert. After originally being on Team Miranda Lambert, I was on Team Influencer Selfie Taker, although really marginal. I don't like either person. The person taking the selfie was annoying.
Yeah, they both seem very terrible, but the new information is that it's resurfaced Miranda Lambert popping a concert goer's beach ball on stage. She stopped the song to pop the beach ball. So apparently she gets really perturbed or bothered when anybody makes her show about her.
Well, remember those shows where this seriously people do this? In fact, I want to say Neil Young might have done it, where you're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
I think Frank Sinatra and Liza Minnelli and those old codgers used to do shows like that where literally you had to have a stadium pal or just pee your pants or take a shit in your seat before you could... That was a real problem at the shows. There was a smell of feces.
I see. When you said Neil Young, I assumed you were going to say you're not allowed to drink. You didn't want people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Aerosmith, didn't Aerosmith do that?
Yeah, Aerosmith did that too when they first got sober. Even though they drank more than the entire arena combined could drink in a week.
I'm amazed that a venue would actually adhere to that.
I know, that is shocking.
I mean, money they make.
I want to be sympathetic to people who find sobriety because, you know, addiction's a terrible, terrible problem. But when you start enforcing it on other people,
for all the dudes on the stage, all y'all gay.
It's really your problem, isn't it? Boy, that drop just reminded me of something. This is really totally okay. We're asking people before I go off target here. We're asking people: are you on Team Miranda Lambert or Team Influencer?
Yeah, the lady.
Person taking a selfie.
Her and her friends, all 5 of them, taking a selfie together.
And I don't know if the chat's going to behave because people are so busy just throwing drops in and
telling Brandon to fart.
Sometimes when I listen to the show, I pee on my clothes. Cat feces. Fart, Brandon. Whoa, what's happening?
Well, it smells like a cat feces.
Okay, I guess maybe we cannot rely on the chat.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes when I urinate, I don't stop it all the way. You know, it comes out on my clothes.
It's a whole different show.
The worst thing that happens in the chat is when we're interviewing someone who we're really excited to have on, and the chat is like, boring!
Who's this loser?
Boring.
John S. says, I hate myself, but I'm on Team Influencer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm on Team Influencer as well. I think if she paid to get in there and she wants to take a picture, a selfie, she can do so.
Okay, well, I paid to get into the show. Can I go sing with Bryan Adams?
No, well, come on. That's not the same thing.
It wasn't,
by the way, that worked out pretty well. That was cool. That was a cool as hell moment.
Yeah, it was seamless.
Adams just jumped in there.
Way better than this influencer picture. I mean, that's the thing. When I first heard it, I'm like, yeah, Miranda, what are you doing? That's ridiculous. But she barely started the song. And then when you see the video of them taking the picture, it's like, all right, it's been about 30 seconds. Can you guys sit the fuck down? That's me.
You know who I'm most angry at, actually? I was most angry at the audience for cheering when she said, I'm playing the song and somebody's taking a selfie. And the audience cheers as if all of them had not taken a selfie at that show. And not to mention all the people recording as she stopped the song.
And I'm coming for, I just don't like people recording every show. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know why people do it.
Well, they're allowed to, so.
Why am I not constantly being besieged by people going, oh my God, look at this video from the concert I went to last night? Nobody ever looks at the videos. They don't.
Well, you got to follow them. You got to see it on their social media.
Well, I do love it when people post like Eminem with Sheeran. That was great. That was nice to have.
That was cool. Uh-huh.
To me, it's like posting your 2011 fireworks photos or something. That's what it is.
I think I'd rather see that.
Okay, something a special treat, and we saved it for the live stream today, is the there's a group chat that is dedicated to nothing but this group of friends farting, posting farts, and they really follow directions too. Nobody posts anything but a fart.
Yeah, if you see it there, and you can just see every piece of audio being shared between people.
This must be an English guy because it says, me and my mates set up a group chat purely for farts and farts only.
Oh, you ready, guys? All right, here you go.
Me and my mates set up a group chat purely for farts and farts only.
It's okay, not bad. Next.
Wait for it.
Oh, we will. I just love how documented every single one of them is, because you see the date and the time and when. But what's funny too is you see this one here where Ben unsent a message. So apparently Ben was not happy with his fart.
One guy sounded like he was at a party.
I know,
and he was not going to. He was not going to punish the group because he was at a party.
You don't know when you're gonna fart.
And another guy, I think his wife was talking in the background.
I love too that it's titled Fart Club. It's a club. Isn't that great?
You're not allowed to
Me
talk
and
about
my
Fart
mate
Club.
set up a group chat purely for farts and farts only.
I'm laughing in the background.
That's the party.
Which one's decaf?
Which one's decaf?
Wait for it.
It's really funny too because you can see these two people joined the group at a certain time. It's like, we gotta get.
Get me in there, man.
Can we please be in the fart club?
Let me in there.
There's nothing more beautiful about finding out how people really spend their time.
Oh, I know. Well, come on, everyone loves farts.
All right, the topic that I feel has not been explored nearly enough anywhere is Carlee Russell, the woman we scoured the United States for her furiously for 48 hours because she was lured by a toddler by the side of the road. Well, Mark, I switched my prayers from Jamie Foxx to Carlee Russell. I thought Jamie Foxx doesn't need my prayers. I've wasted too many already. Here we have someone who's missing, a 25-year-old nursing student. Her parents are frantic. Her boyfriend is frantic. They're out of their minds. They're scouring the state of Alabama. And I was looking around too. I'd seen her picture.
Yeah,
you never know. She could be in Ferndale. I didn't see her, by the way. I didn't see anyone who looked like her. But if I had, I would have called the FBI or whoever was necessary. I've got them on speed dial just in case. And there were all the prayers. Anyway, the parents. She arrived at home. Now, this is the weirdest thing, and people were just going ballistic about this comment, that she arrived home. Wait, let me find it.
Oh.
Unresponsive, but breathing.
Yeah, which I thought immediately of Charlie Bothell Sr. After,
Are you okay?
Was it Nancy Grace?
Yes.
Nancy Grace tells him that, hey, your kid's been found, the one that
was missing for like 2 weeks.
That you were lying about, and he's just like, what?
What?
Because he was unresponsive, but he was breathing.
He was in the basement. But how can you walk to your parents' front door unresponsive?
Can't.
But breathing.
By choice.
I mean, isn't that a person that's literally knocked out, practically? Unresponsive? I mean, there's like their eyes are shut.
Yeah, you're not responding.
Yeah.
All you are doing is breathing.
You ain't dead.
The parents act as if we couldn't even hug her.
Yeah.
She was so unresponsive, we couldn't even hug her.
They mentioned that in this interview, which I thought was kind of weird.
There's some strange audio, by the way, when she's got her blinkers on, her emergency blinkers, which is about 200 yards before she pulls over to the toddler. If somehow no one else sees the toddler but her.
We didn't see it when we watched the video.
But how does she see the toddler 200 yards ahead? That's pretty weird, isn't it? But anyway, there's some strange sound, and some people have really deeply analyzed it. Apparently, it's Jesse Smollett yelling, "Cut!"
It is very Smollettian.
Bump.
It is very Smollettian.
Come on, give it up.
No, I laughed.
No, kidding.
It wasn't the greatest joke.
No, it's just so stupid.
I mean, don't be ashamed of it like I was about my Tony Gonzalez joke.
Oh, it was nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, maybe a little timeout would have been. We used to give Mike Clark timeouts when he would make some.
Those are the best. Yeah. Well, we used to do it to Maz, remember?
Yes.
yeah, you
That
get
Maz had
potted
to
down.
I forgot about Maz's timeouts. We got to bring that back.
When he was
Go in the
here, we make him
isolation
go
booth.
upstairs, yeah, too. But by the way, when she did show up, when Carlee Russell showed up, that did you listen to the dispatch calls?
What?
Yeah, they're not that great.
I felt like Charlie Bothell there when he said, "What?
What? Do you want to go hug Guy Gordon?
Badly.
What?
What?
But the dispatch calls mention a large crowd out in the street. So that's just the fact that she showed up, right? So everyone on the street's like, oh my God, she's back, she's alive. It's not that
she walked
showed
home.
up. Yeah, it's not that she showed up with this giant crowd.
Sometimes kidnappers just let you walk home. It's weird.
Oh, yeah, well, when they're done with you.
Yeah, after you've had the fight of your life for 48 hours. She had apparently put up a hell of a fight physically and mentally, from what the quote.
I would love to see the makeup of this neighborhood and how it is, because you got to believe everybody's got a Ring doorbell now, right? At least like 20% of homes have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
I would think we'd be able to see where it was that she just turns up. I mean, it's strange how she just disappears and she, poof, just appears.
I feel like
I don't believe you.
we're going to find a Ring doorbell of a car pulling over, stopping, and her getting out and walking away.
Yeah.
Go home.
I think ultimately, I think you're right, Mark. I think that's how
And
this thing gets
she's going to
resolved.
wave to the person as they're driving away.
Yeah, and then the next Ring doorbell show her stretching, and then she'll just be like, okay. Just getting into her mode.
Can I ask you a reasonable question? Where's the original 911 call?
Yeah, fair
I mean,
question.
we've been praying for her. We've been scouring wherever we live for her. Aren't we entitled to hear the 911 call? I mean, really, usually it's out there pretty quick.
Yeah. I don't know why.
ain't found shit.
I don't know why we haven't heard that yet. I saw a really annoying tweet that was basically like, she doesn't know anybody any answers, so stop asking. I'm
Oh,
like,
shut! I
wait
hate
a
when
sec.
people say that.
used public resources. You took all of Drew's prayers. You know, they meant.
Exactly. Not to mention that all the time I spent looking for her.
Yeah. I mean,
She's 25 years old. She's a nursing student. She's driving a red Mercedes. She's apparently families of some pretty good means. Yeah, it's like, and the mother is all upset about people who are lying. It's like, well, you must be really mad at your daughter then.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
people are lying. You must be livid with her.
and most people aren't lying right now. We're wondering what the story is.
She doesn't tell the facts.
We're just asking questions. There's an abductor out there, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we know the description of the abductor? Shouldn't she go on TV and say, here's what he looks like,
And
and here's what the toddler looks like? Because we should be looking for the toddler. I have been looking for the toddler. I don't know about you guys.
That jerk toddler.
That toddler's in on it, though, remember? It's
Yeah.
used as a
It was
prop.
bait. That's true. Anyway, I guess we should watch the Today Show interview with the parents. She still cannot talk. She can't answer questions. She is so just destroyed by the fight she had to put up with the abductors, which she won.
Liar.
How long is this
No,
game?
she won the fight.
How long is this not talking game of chicken? How long is that going to happen?
I have a feeling she's never going to answer questions. We're never going to see her publicly answer questions. And I think the next time we see her, if we see her publicly, because if she does an interview, big mistake. It'll be a huge mistake.
She can't do an interview, but there's going to be some.
We still haven't seen Smollett Part 2 on GMA.
No, Robin took that home and burned it in her fire.
She took the day off.
When he talks about how hard he hit the guy, because I'm just not some soft gay guy. I put up a fight.
Yeah.
busted him.
All right, here's Carlee Russell's family from the Today
That
Show.
moment you all first laid eyes on
Oh,
her.
can you pause for a
again.
second? Yeah. Detroit Rock's Angel says, I think she figured cops wouldn't file a missing person report for 48 hours, so she took off for the weekend to to S&F, thinking she could be home before 48 hours was up. Great. I think it's a good angle.
That is such a good point.
Yeah. That's possible. Oh, did you know there's one witness, and they haven't confirmed it, but one witness claims she was with
a man.
a light-skinned man. Whatever that
That's
means.
interesting.
Standing next to her car, I think after work.
Her boyfriend's African-American, so maybe she felt guilty about
Well,
liking a light skin. I'm just saying.
I thought it was interesting how quick the boyfriend came out to say, "Nope, she's fine." In other words, there's no other hoagie here. I'm not buying her a Lamborghini.
I say the boyfriend seems a bit cuckish so far in this thing. He's just buying everything.
The theme of the day today on the show.
If I'm wrong about this, by the way, I'm going to knock off the responsible, irresponsible speculation, because I feel like I've been responsibly, irresponsibly speculating, generally speaking.
Sure.
And I like to think I have a pretty good record of responsibly, irresponsibly speculating. But Jamie Foxx really threw me for a loop. I'm
Yeah.
kind of off my irresponsible speculation game momentarily. So if I'm totally out to lunch on this one, I may take a break from irresponsible speculation. I don't know.
Well, wait a sec. I mean, there's legitimate questions, and there's nothing wrong with asking these questions.
I don't
Right?
think
Maybe
so either.
something did happen. If that's the case, let's find this kidnapper and this evil toddler.
I think we're going to find out there's a penis involved in this.
Yeah, the toddler was a boy.
No, I I think there's some penis involved in the disappearance. I'm just saying. I don't know why else she would disappear for a couple. Of course, that's a pretty sexist thing to say, I guess. Well, what else would she need to disappear for other than to get some strange hoagie?
To get it on with a woman?
Yeah, we don't know the motives of why she left, but I think we're kind of certain that it's not the
What
exact
else would it
story
be?
that's out
Well,
there.
we might find out that she just needed to get away. She needed a mental health break.
Right.
Could be.
I give her credit for not pulling a Tawana Brawley and rubbing her feces all over her. At least she didn't do that. At least she didn't show up to her parents.
That's where we're at? Do you get credit for not doing that? No,
Kind of.
I don't think so. Bullshit. No.
I mean, the story would be a little bit more sensationalized if she had feces on her, but it's been done in the past.
Yeah, she could have Tawana Brawley. That would have been a good move.
Right.
But then she would have had to shower before they could test the feces because it would have been her own.
Yeah.
She would have had to smear herself
She
with her own
could have
feces
borrowed
because
some.
there's no abductor. Unless she had the light-skinned guy take a shit.
Yeah, maybe he gave her some of his feces.
This is where we're at.
I don't know.
Maybe she took
Not
a
out of
diaper from
question.
that evil toddler and wiped it on herself.
I'm sure they ask it in the Today Show interview.
Yeah, let's watch the interview. Okay. This is huge. We're going to get all our questions
you all
answered.
first laid eyes on her again. What was it like?
Dumb
To
question.
me,
What a
I mean,
stupid question.
Just so much joy. And
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
we tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her.
You couldn't hug her? She was so... Why couldn't you hug her?
That doesn't make any sense. And wouldn't you have grabbed her and go, where have you been?
Are they being dramatic? I think so.
Yes, I would say so. Hey, you don't suppose she's doing this just because it's cool to be a victim now and she just wanted to be a victim in a major story?
No, I think...
Like, could the motive be that simply stupid?
Yes, definitely.
That's... No, all right.
No, I think there's a lot of people. I mean, trauma, victim, those are the things that get people sympathy and attention now. So,
Did she
possible.
think people weren't going to look for her? That's really dumb.
Well, the 48-hour thing, like the chatter said.
Oh, that's a
great point.
Great point, yeah.
But it's okay.
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate.
See how dark it is there, too? Because we only have the super enhanced video. I mean, it's, yeah.
She pulled over while on the phone with a family
The one
member
those
who
emergency lights
described
are on.
hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period.
Crazy.
The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have
Like that
not
kidnapper.
indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing.
I think she asked for a
or
description of the abductor here.
Hey,
hopefully.
Going back to that that officer call, did he say accept her cell phone? Or did he say her cell phone was there?
I thought he said her cell phone was... Back it up.
Because that would explain the whole thing about pinging, right?
Yeah.
Back that trailer up again!
Except for her phone.
Except for her phone.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running all her personal belongings except for her phone.
You can just ping
Wait, so
it.
she had her phone?
Track it, ping it.
Well, remember we heard that the family pinged and it was the street over. Maybe that's where she left it, but
That was pretty weird.
That's different from the original story. Sorry.
or she was missing, or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they
The
say
knock at the
speculation
door?
about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
It's not
Her
talking about
family
me.
now urging the public to
Which is terrible because she has to deal with the trauma of being kidnapped.
Right.
But apparently the trauma of people saying
Yes,
things
is worse.
Far worse than the trauma of being kidnapped.
the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee
just
has
explain
given
it.
detectives her statement. so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC
What do
News
they
has
look
reached
like?
out to the Hoover Police Department
What
to
do you
ask
look
whether
like?
they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
What the hell happened that night?
I felt that in my heart.
Why don't you
Is
just
that
lick
what
her
happened?
ass?
She did. She found her way
Really?
back to us.
God.
However,
What a stupid
we
question.
can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Sorry.
Do you believe she was fighting for her
Oh,
life?
she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally.
I thought you can talk about it.
No details.
But she made it back to you.
She
made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla,
Oh, yeah,
so
thank
investigators
God.
are obviously busy on this case.
learned
What
nothing.
are they looking into going forward?
Yeah, Hoda, right now they're analyzing that initial 911 call and also
Great
that
interview.
traffic cam video showing that car driving on the interstate very slowly with its flashers on, believed to be Carlee's car. And of course, they're looking at the evidence from the crime scene, including the car and her cell phone, which was found on the roadway nearby. Police say that they have been able to account for all of her steps leading up to her disappearance.
You got to believe
They've
the
accounted
police.
for all of her steps leading up to her disappearance. That doesn't.
No,
what does that mean?
You got to believe they have way more information than what we know. More video in that neighborhood. That the same guy, I forgot it. What he went by in the comment section on YouTube said that if you look at that area, there's houses not that far from the highway, so it's possible she could have gone to one of those houses. You know, met with somebody there.
Why would they not have a description of the abductor who's out there abducting 25-year-olds?
Well,
and
she's unresponsive, Drew. She can't talk.
also irresponsibly
She's
using
mute.
a toddler. But she could tell the police what the abductor looks like.
No, she can't talk. She's unresponsive.
But ultimately, 5 minutes for the Today Show to cover it. What did we learn in that piece?
Absolutely nothing. Oh, we learned that it was incredible to have her back. Which we had no idea.
That's great.
I thought the mom was going to say, well, it was okay to have her back, but she's, I don't know, she's unresponsive. She's not much fun to be around.
She's grounded. She lives at home. And where's my red Mercedes?
She's a liar.
Yeah, boy. I don't know. This is it's a fascinating story, man.
All I can say is I hope they follow up on this. I hope they
they
don't
will.
just. You think so?
Yeah, because the
police?
resources
Yeah,
used.
I think they will.
Yeah, and I think they know a lot more than what we see, particularly from that camera on the highway. And there's cameras everywhere, man.
No, I mean, I think we're going to know, and we know that the police are kind of going, yeah, investigation of the abductor, right? But will they? I mean, because her parents are obviously of means, and they probably have a good lawyer and all that. Will they just kind of go? We'll just sort of let it go. They don't usually let stuff like that go, though, do they?
No, they're not going to let it go.
Something's going on, and somebody's not telling me something.
If they didn't let Sherry Papini go, because she was a cute blonde.
But you can't let it go either, because
because people
somebody else will do it.
Yeah, I
and
think
then you
people
waste time doing that.
People are doing more of this crap. So, all right, a little closer to home. Did you hear about Ishbia's house in
my
Bloomfield
God, yeah.
Township?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
House? It's not even really a house. It's a compound. No, I think they called it an amusement park.
Yeah. He's knocked down 5 houses. I know he's a billionaire and he owns the Phoenix Suns. And by the way, do they have to always point out that he owns the Mercury?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if they didn't, then someone would go, but he owns the Mercury too.
So what? The Mercury? How much did it cost to buy the Mercury? Versus the
added
Suns?
value.
I think it was thrown in.
Yeah, it's just a throw-in.
Yeah,
It didn't
added
pay
value.
anything for it. Whoever owned the Mercury probably was losing money on the Mercury, so you have to take the Mercury.
Maybe get a discount by taking the Mercury.
Anyway, Ishbia, and it's interesting that they had 12 people that spoke, I guess, at the zoning meeting in Birmingham, and 11 people were like, this is bullshit. And one person's like, oh, I think it's really cool. And it goes through somehow. Boy, how does that go through? It's
crazy.
That's weird. So there's going to be a lot of people building 60,000 square foot homes in Birmingham with amusement parks in the background and conservatories and full-length basketball courts and reflecting pools and what else is in there?
trampoline
Trampoline park. A trampoline park?
Well, first off, I just want to say, well, how much space is too much space? Because the house is 60,000 square feet. He had just 8 years ago knocked down 2 houses to build a 22,000 square foot house, and now that one's going too.
Well, he's going to live in like
Wiping that one
500
out.
square feet of the 60,000.
60,000 square
You're rich, you
feet.
jerk.
Who would?
Why do you need that much house? All the other stuff's kind of cool, but why do you need that much space?
Isn't it just because?
It's because he can, right?
I think so. I can't imagine why he wants 60,000 square feet.
I'd rather keep the 22,000 square feet and then build another 22,000 square foot house in Phoenix and another 22,000 square foot house somewhere else.
Couldn't he build it out in Shelby Township or somewhere where there's lots of space, or somewhere, maybe not even Shelby, even further, like 30 Mile Road or something?
Yeah. So let's see.
In Birmingham, in Bloomfield Township?
Yeah. Let's see. They dropped plans for adding the go-kart track.
Oh, what?
I would have made that mandatory. You got to have a go-kart track.
And the
Who doesn't like
go-kart
go-karts?
garage, too.
And the lighted observation platform. So those are out. That's
But the climbing walls are in. The waterfall's in. The conservatory. The treehouse.
Yes.
He really needs a treehouse?
A full court, full basketball court. Plus,
what's mesh screening for? Is that so you can play when the sun's out and the sun doesn't beat down on you as hard?
He also said this.
We have elephants and giraffes and crocodiles and every kind of tigers and lions.
he also has a 62 by 121 foot all sports court. Is that tennis?
We have super soakers. We have stink bombs.
And an enchanted forest.
A sign, yeah.
They could have the Renaissance Festival there every now and again.
14-foot tall masonry piers holding metal gates that will enclose a sprawling enchanted forest sign.
Come on, your house sucks.
A reflecting pool, 14-foot tall waterfall, 5 14-foot tall pieces of art.
14-foot tall pieces of art?
That's what it said, yeah. This is my favorite part. The township officials reacted with controlled glee when he was explaining that they changed one thing, and then one guy said, there should be a stop for the passenger trains running from Pontiac, to which then the story points that, yeah, the Amtrak trains do pass by on an embankment and could actually see into his property, which is why he's been planting massive evergreens all around. So it's just over. Oh, he's going to have a lazy river, too.
Oh, lazy river? I didn't see
it's
that.
It's my favorite kind of river.
But he's tearing down 5 houses, one of which is 8 years old and won all these awards, design
That's
awards.
the one he lives in now, the 22,000 square foot house.
He's tearing down 8 years later, the 22,000 square. This just isn't big enough. I just don't have any space.
Yeah.
What? How did he manage to buy 5 houses in the area? So he must have
got a whole lot of money.
Paid off the people. God, I wish I owned a house he wanted.
Patrick on the chat says Hunter Biden art, 14-foot art. What else does he have here? Serpentine swimming pool that'll stretch 200 feet and has a lazy river to sweep around. Artificial islands, a large backyard gazebo, 50-foot long pool cabana, batting cage, 75 feet deep.
Batting cage. What?
A trampoline park with bouncing from below ground to avoid exceeding township height rules. The sports court that we mentioned that's got pickleball and tennis, 81-foot long cabana, rockscape in the front yard. That's to be 2,500 square feet of boulders stacked up to 14 feet high, setting off a large pond around which it will sweep a formal driveway, carrying vehicles to a motor court in front of the house. A separate, secluded driveway will give family members access to 6-car garage. Come on, dude.
We have so much money, we don't know what to do with it.
This place is like a whole block. I honestly, I cannot believe. I mean, it'll be easy to resell it, of course. That's the good news.
The board did turn down some things too, including the 24-foot high platform to launch the zip line. That's just too much.
I'm not poor.
They also vetoed a security station at the front of the house, but everything else is pretty much approved.
I just can't believe this is happening in Birmingham. That's really strange. I would
Birmingham or Bloomfield?
Bloomfield Township. Yeah, Bloomfield Township. No, Bloomfield Township is even smaller than Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. He's going to end up owning the whole township eventually, just buy all these houses. He had one letter of support from Dan Petrie's kid, Jeff Petrie.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So he's got some support. Which
Yeah,
makes me think Jeff Petrie wants to come over and try out that trampoline park.
But Jeff Petrie is a pro hockey player?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Does he in
Didn't
the
he go to
NHL?
State? I think he went to. I think he went to Michigan State.
How did I not know that?
No. Yeah,
By the way, Tigers won a nice game.
Yeah.
They were down 2-0. They hadn't scored in like, how many times have they done this where they haven't scored in like 16, 17 innings or something? They're down 2-0 in the eighth. Matt Manning pitched well. He kept his no-hitter going for another full inning after the his first inning was hitless. So he went 7 2/3 hitless, including his combined no-hitter of 6 2/3. But they got Badu on with a double, and then with 2 outs, they're so bad at moving runners around because I'm thinking, just get this run in so you only need 1 in the 9th to tie it up because it was the top of the 8th. Badu doesn't get moved at all. Riley Green gets hit by a pitch with 2 outs, and then Torkelson gets walked, bringing up Carp! Carp walks on 4 pitches. They brought in another pitcher, and Carp walks on. So 2 relievers. One guy walked a guy and hit a guy. The next guy comes in, walks Carp, and then Vierling rips an opposite field double to put the Tigers ahead 3-2, and they won the game.
All right.
Was it Lang closed it out?
Yep.
I think. Did you watch it, Brandon?
Yeah, on my fantasy team. Of course I did.
Who's on your fantasy team?
Alex Lang. Get
Do you
some
have
saves. No.
What?
I don't have Carp.
No.
I'm sorry. He just doesn't.
He's slugging .520.
He doesn't fit the dynamic of my club.
Oh, bullshit.
Every time I look at the standings, they're still 9 games under 500. No matter
but they're
what
5
day of the
games
week.
out of first place.
They can win 10 in a row and be 9 games under 500 somehow.
It does feel that way watching because they've won 3 out of 4 since the All-Star break, but they were 11 under going into the All-Star break, so they're 9 games under 500.
Always, no matter what.
Boy.
Well, good for them.
I saw today that Gigi Hadid, who is another person that I'm just really tired of hearing about. It's like, what does she do besides be hot?
Nothing. She's got a very wealthy family, and she's a model.
But she's a model. Okay. She's an influencer. They always say she's an influencer. Oh, my God. I just really want to be influenced by Gigi Hadid because she's born super uber rich, and she's super uber hot. I swear, I do not put her in the category that some people do. I think she's very pretty, but I don't understand the complete fascination over everything she does. Anyway, she flies into
Cayman
Islands on a private jet, and I guess her guest had a bunch of pot. That's the way it was described. Is it like Gigi took one for the team or was forced to take one for the team because when they got to the Cayman Islands, they searched the luggage, and there was a bunch of pot in there. Or maybe it wasn't a bunch of pot. I don't know how much pot it was.
Marijuana?
But the story doesn't make any sense now that I say that because today on TMZ they said, yeah, Gigi, apparently she didn't do anything wrong, her friend. But Gigi's attorney said Gigi purchased medical marijuana legally in New York City, and she's been using medical marijuana, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
matter, though.
No, it's not.
You can't travel with it.
Another place. It's not the United States of America. Duh.
It's like, remember Adam Newman? We work Adam Newman?
Yes.
And he would fly with so much weed and smoke it in the plane. And
and he got busted in Japan or somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah.
But,
hey, everybody does whatever they want nowadays.
I know, but
who cares what the Cayman Islands have to say?
The Cayman Islands detained her. Actually, she was in jail for a short time, I'm sure. And then she goes to court, pleaded guilty, I think, to, my notes.
Ganja, wasn't it? Didn't
Stay off the weed.
Didn't it specifically say ganja?
Yeah, they call it ganja there. She was arrested, detained, pleaded guilty to importation, I think is the charge, for importing pot.
Throw the book at her.
$1,000 fine and then released. And then she had a wonderful vacation. So the attorney said, traveling with marijuana purchased legally in New York City with a medical license. It's been legal for medical use in Grand Cayman since 2017. That's why they arrested her, I guess, because it's legal. Wait, what?
No, nice excuse.
Her record remains clear and she enjoyed her vacation. No, her record isn't clear because she pleaded guilty to importation. So how is her record clear? Or do they have the same thing as Detroit?
Yeah.
They wipe it. Yeah,
ban the box.
Ban the box, yeah. Did you know that she got in an incident in 2017 going to China where she was
What?
I had no idea, but she was going to Shanghai to participate in a modeling competition. It was the 2017 Victoria's Secret fashion show.
I was going to Shanghai for a modeling competition.
But she had her visa revoked because there was an online video for her doing slant eyes.
Oh, come on.
While impersonating,
why is she still allowed to influence people? If she's doing racist things, she shouldn't be allowed to influence anyone.
Victoria's Secret declined to comment when asked whether she pulled out of the fashion show on her own or whether she was asked to by that high moralistic company, Victoria's Secret, who has major ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why. I just find that really funny that she got booted for that.
But yeah, that's just it. It's like, the thing is, because she's Gigi Hadid, you know, I'm sure they cleared the way for her to just plead guilty and go party and pay $1,000 fine, which is nothing. But, you know, a lot of people are going to do dumb shit like this, just like this. She bought it legally for medicinal purposes in New York City. I mean, I could just hear some average citizen saying that and rotting in a jail down there and expecting, you know, to be out in no time because, Gigi Hadid didn't do anything wrong. Turns out it was no big deal.
I know my rights under the law. It's called the Mann Act.
No. Are we going to trade some prisoner to the Cayman Islands to get Gigi Hadid out? I just don't want people, I don't want this whole phenomenon of, oh my God, what are we going to do? Gigi Hadid's detained in the Cayman Islands.
The whole world's frozen.
No,
for
people,
better luck next time.
It just seems like, when you grow up with pot and it's legal, like a lot of people are, they're not just thinking, they just think they can do whatever they want.
Well, you're an idiot.
With those of us who...
laws are not the same everywhere.
If they didn't detain her like Brittany Griner, and then we would have had to fight and give up another merchant of death for her.
But then just acting like it's no big deal is just, I mean, shouldn't she apologize or something? Say, I should have checked the laws in the Cayman Islands first. But no.
No, it said here she just paid $1,000 fine, which is pretty low. I'm surprised they didn't up the fine for her.
Yeah, maybe she made a donation or something to some charitable organization.
So now we'll be flying into the Gigi Hadid International Airport.
Tori Spelling was on TMZ today, and I guess she's come out, she didn't say it on TMZ, but she said, yeah, I dumped Dean McDermott. I do better on my own anyway. This guy is such a tool.
Yeah,
I cannot believe what a tool he is. And they showed a picture of them when they met. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, does he think he's hot?
Oh,
he thinks he's so hot.
Let's see it. I'm guessing he's really into his hair, too, in that photo.
Oh, yeah. I didn't send a photo, but there's probably I'm sure there's a picture of them when they first started dating or when they got married or something. He is so into his looks.
Beach, Florida.
This is the guy commenting on Gigi.
Wait, I want to hear it.
Commenting. Oh yeah, back this up.
If he's commenting on Gigi, I want to know what he's going to say.
He's commenting on Tori. This leads into the story about Bill Gates' new girlfriend, which I think is worth seeing because I think Bill Gates has made a great trade.
Oh, so you need me to go back?
We'll come back to Tori. That's okay. We'll come back to Tori.
Oh, okay.
But here's his comment. This is the commenter after the story. We could watch the story. Yeah, you want to watch the story?
Well, I just wanted to see the picture of him. Oh, what's that dude's name?
Dean McDermott?
Brappleton? Was that Brappleton?
Brappleton, yeah. The TMZ guy.
I can't wait to hear Brappleton's take.
But Candy Spelling, what a fucking cunt she is. She's her mother. I thought she was her stepmother. She's her birth mother.
And Dean McDermott
Those are her grandchildren.
He
seriously
shocked everyone when he posted something basically saying that they had mutually decided they were getting divorced, post that last month, and then deleted it. So we're uncertain whether they were really splitting up. Well, now we know they are because Tori has been seen with their kids staying without Dean.
Where's Dean?
At a motel.
Dean apparently must be sleeping in his car, right?
For kids. Right. And I guess one of the things that struck us is why isn't she at the house if she's got the kids?
Don't say anything about Tori's kids.
I thought one of them was a little big.
That's exactly what I noticed. One of them is really heavy.
Oh, really?
Yes. But, growing up with all that trauma.
Maybe it's glandular.
I just bring it up because I'm sympathetic because of all the trauma the child grew up with.
Yeah.
So I really regret pointing that out. But it's mostly the trauma.
For whatever reason, she's not. She's clearly having enormous money problems. Right. And we got her mom out. Well, we'll get to her mom in a minute. Right. Because Tori is now speaking out for the first time about the status of her marriage or the lack of marriage, and also answering a question about that motel stay and why she did that. Here's what she had to say as she was leaving Target, doing a little shopping.
Were you blindsided by Dean's post?
Targets.
Is it safe to say that you might be getting a divorce?
I always look better on my own.
Okay, well, I mean, have you been in contact with him at all? There's been obviously a lot mentioned in the media recently about you staying in this motel. Why were you staying in like a cheap motel?
Are you a parent? You know you would do whatever you can for your kids, right?
Of course, I'm not a parent yet.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
We'll understand when you are.
I'll tell you, when you watch this video, the fact that she wasn't answering anything from this photog, and when she was triggered by that, you just saw how fierce she was.
Why didn't that paparazzo just lying? Yeah, I've got like 6 kids.
Yeah, I should have. I would have said that.
I have more kids than you do.
I would have said, I've got 6 kids by 5 women. What are you talking about?
I think that could be a shot. Either, like you said, she was just triggered by the question, or that was a shot at either Dean, because I don't know where Dean is throughout all this. Apparently, they had to leave their home because it had too much mold in it. But he's clearly living somewhere, so it's weird that she would be living with the 5 kids in the motel.
Look at him.
Or this could be a shot at her mom, Candy, because that's her parent.
Looks like Will Ferrell.
Feels like she's not looking out for her.
And therein lies the mystery here. That we got Candy out last week, right? A week ago, and specifically asked her that question. She was coming out of her maze in Beverly Hills. And asked her whether
while Tori comes out of Target.
Help support Tori, given her circumstances. And she said yes. And so now the question, and by the way, Carlee Spelling is fabulously wealthy. Right. Her husband, her late husband, was Aaron Spelling. They lived in a 56,000 square foot house in Holmby Hills that they sold for, I think, $85 million. Not to mention all the money he made from Dynasty and all the other shows. And so, look, I'm not saying what Candy should do because I'm not part of that family, but she had said I would help. And this has always been an issue where Tori and Candy have had this kind of fractured
Tori had
relationship.
Ugly parents, didn't she?
Terrible, and then gets better. So I don't know the answer. By the way, I don't want to. The other thing, that question that clearly triggered her about the divorce, because she didn't. Those were the only 2 things she answered. Right. And that was definitely a shot at Dean. I've always been better on my own. I've always looked better on my own.
Okay, go right for the commenter.
Sure a shot at Dean, but I mean, obviously this is super messy situations, but the people that you really got to feel bad for are those 5 kids. No?
Oh yeah.
No, this is a terrible situation.
That's not Brappleton.
Oh, it's not?
No. Don't stay in a $100 motel.
He's part of the peanut gallery, though. They're all the same.
Yeah, look this.
That from
Except
Tori
for Babcock.
Also understands clearly what people are saying and thinking about it. She doesn't care. Right. I mean, she's walking out of Target. You could just like, look, I'm doing what I have to do. You could feel it.
My name is Daryl Webb. I'm from Pompano Beach, Florida.
Oh, you blew it.
But Tori Spelling, I think, is the best thing for her. Since that marriage has started, it's been seems from the outside looking in, a very toxic relationship.
Great
her
point.
finances have gotten worse. It's kind of crazy.
Look how hot he thinks he is there.
He thinks he's so hot. He is fucking the camera with that look.
At the end of the day, it's going to be the best thing for her to separate and divorce from
look at his eyes
because it seems like a very toxic and a very unhealthy relationship for herself and the kids.
You just nailed it. Back on her feet for sure.
Totally nailed it.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving on to a guy
here's
who is
Gates' girlfriend.
That's exciting. All right.
And a lot of people thought getting married. That would be Bill Gates. Earlier this year, we found out that Bill was dating again. Has a girlfriend. Her name is Paula Hurd. And some
That's a
photos
good trade.
Oh, yeah, we've seen her before. Yeah. She does look like Melinda Light.
In New York.
Oh!
Not sure where they were.
What?
But,
Yeah, a little bit.
A ring on her left ring finger.
Not from Bill.
And people were thinking that they're engaged. Yeah, that Bill Gates was going the way of Bezos.
As it turns out, they are not engaged. We were actually told by a rep for Bill Gates that she's had this ring for years.
Is that Brappleton?
No, that's not.
That looks like the other
or
guy.
anything like that. But you guys bring up a good point about Jeff
Listen
Bezos.
to the peanut gallery. They're so ridiculous.
We don't know if Bill Gates is invited or not, but do you think
with those
Bill Gates
tits
goes to that wedding,
Oh my God.
maybe his girlfriend is saying, hey, Jeff's getting married. Maybe it's time we settle down.
Not really the same situation. We should say that Jacob.
Enough TMZ. By the way, she is the widow of the Oracle president, so she's loaded.
Yeah, Mark Hurd.
Absolutely loaded.
Isn't that the guy that owns all the land in Hawaii? Doesn't he own a bunch of
I think so, because she has some connection to Hawaii, but she's the widow, so she got it all. She's dead. She's 60 and Gates is 67. Isn't she a little old for him, even though she's 7 years younger?
Yeah, no.
It's ridiculous to say, but
Gates, that bachelor pad Gates has on the beach, it's just full of blonde girls, like opposite of Rock Hudson.
I think Gates should be shooting for, I'm going to say 45.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he can go lower.
He could go lower.
Lower.
I think he'd go 45 and go, well,
Lower.
we're only two numbers apart in the left number of our age. I mean,
He'd
that's
go
not
for
a big deal.
He'd go for like a really nerdy 30-year-old.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, or maybe a 30-year-old that looks more, doesn't really wear a lot of makeup and looks older, even though she's smoking hot.
I'm looking at the comments too, like when the Tori Spelling thing was going at Byron. It says he's been following the marriage, meaning the guy, the commenter on TMZ. So I've been following the marriage.
That is weird.
Following the marriage? No, you haven't, liar. And then Richard said, if you like him so much, why don't you marry him?
Why would that guy call in on that topic or whatever?
Because he wants to be on television.
Yeah,
That's why all the people call into TMZ.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is why we should do it.
Dick Masterson, who does shows with Carl and does the Dick show, and we've had Dick on. Dick is one of their favorite commenters because he always does. He has great comments and he's funny as hell.
Controversial and he's funny. Yeah.
Perfect. And you know who was on there today? TMZ Live runs earlier, I guess. Is there something else that runs online?
Well, I think don't they tape it at like 1 o'clock and then we just run it at 3?
I got an email from Amy Zempel. Mm-hmm. She listens to the show.
Yeah.
And she said she was going to comment on something on TMZ Live at 2:40. But the TV show's on at 3 o'clock. So is there any way to find Amy's comment?
Was it on today's?
I think it was today, yeah. But I don't think it was on the show.
I remember Brandon and I looked into it and know like what you have to do and everything. And I thought you had to be available between 1 and 2 p.m.
I had a buddy from Specs who kept popping up on there every once in a while.
It's like
what?
Anybody
a
that wants
guy
to
from
be on
Specs?
Yeah. And it was just the most random stories, and he didn't care what the topic was. He just tried every day until he got in.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't see her on here. I went all the way through.
Ooh, cutting room floor.
Amy, please email me. Let me know where it is.
That story right there with Ricky Martin and his fucking kids. Like, I kept running into that today.
Ricky Martin's getting divorced.
And the story was just that Ricky Martin's kids joined him on stage, which, and
oh, how stupid.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just immediately thought of his kid as being gay. I don't know why.
Well, Pat Robertson.
That reminds me. I saw something today. In fact,
remember Pat Robertson said all these gay people are having gay kids?
Yes, yeah. That the only way to stop. Wait, I think he was suggesting that gay people need to stop reproducing because they're making
making gay kids.
Everyone comes from someone gay, but why would gay people reproduce anyway? It doesn't make any sense. I think it's queued up on NBC. I was watching Ron DeSanctimonious, which I can't unhear or unsay for some reason. Every time I see him, I think Ron. Oh, there's Ron DeSanctimonious.
You don't like Meatball Ron?
No. I just heard the other one first, and for some reason, Trump is good at. He's really
Ron
good at it.
DeSanctimonious.
Anyway, he's talking real badass about the military and stuff, but does he sound kind of gay when he talks?
Oh.
I'm not making any other comment about him whatsoever.
What am I looking for here?
The CBS This Morning. It should be queued up to Ron DeSanctimonious.
Does he have a little? What?
Unless it's
Lispy?
ABC.
Is it Lispy? Is that what it is?
I don't know. You just got to hear it.
Hello, South Carolina.
Check it out. The more badass he gets, the gayer he sounds.
By the way, he's trying to get hot. He's losing a lot of weight.
But also make sure his party can beat President Biden.
If this election is a referendum on Biden's failures, and if we offer a positive alternative, we're going to win, and we're going to win big.
Today in South Carolina, he's set to unveil a new plan to tackle, quote, woke ideology in the military.
As commander-in-chief, I'm ripping all the woke out of the military, and I'm getting focused back on mission accomplishment.
DeSantis is the closest GOP candidate to former President Donald Trump.
Sounds kind of soft.
Trailing by double digits in polling and fundraising. Still,
naval, right?
Some South Carolina voters say there's plenty of time.
He's a naval
I just
lawyer.
think he's got to keep doing what he's doing and get his message out and do it the way he's doing it.
Trump should fight Democrats.
Back in Iowa, that message is on display.
This is interesting, though. This ad that he did, he used AI to do Trump's voice.
Yeah.
To make him say, I mean, it was his words. I think it was a tweet or a truth.
Why did you just use Trump's words?
Because I think it was a tweet or a truth social that was put out there, which doesn't really translate as good as opposed to having him say it. So they used AI to use Trump's voice to say his words, which makes a better ad. Which, by the way, I told you about the Wilt Chamberlain documentary
on
Showtime, and they do the same thing. They take Wilt's words that he had either written down or comments, but then they also mention that they would take kind of things they think he would have said with the appreciation from the Chamberlain family to have him narrate this documentary. It's really weird.
It's getting really weird.
It's bizarre. I don't know. It's a good documentary, though. I hate Wilt Chamberlain now.
Yeah, he just was not a really
a
likable guy.
person at all.
The sanctimonious reminded me, though, that Trump is now publicly saying that he is about to be indicted over January 6th.
Because he's been contacted? Yeah.
I guess. He's been told he's a target of the investigation, but I almost felt like he was sort of excited to say, I'm going to be indicted. Like, does this make him more popular the more things he's charged with are indicted? Does that help him?
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt him. And does
it doesn't. No,
energize the base that donates to him.
But I think maybe he feels, and I think a lot of people, they get like more excited for the business of fighting because they're charging him with bullshit cases over and over and over, and
that's right.
They're out to get him, and the Department of Justice and the FBI are fucked up, and
kind of fits that narrative.
There's some truth to the fact that I think the DOJ and the FBI are screwed up, but whether or not he deserves to be charged for this is another matter entirely. But I wasn't even commenting on that. I'm just saying it almost seemed like he was exaggerating or bragging, like, here's something to get excited about. And I thought, I guess maybe, does he just go up in the polls every time he's charged with something or indicted?
I don't know if he goes up in the polls or not, but it gives him the chance to control the story from the beginning, right? He's the one that broke that story today.
I just find it hard to believe that being charged with anything could help you.
Doesn't
but
hurt
it
him,
seems
though.
like in this
Does not
case,
hurt him,
it
though.
may be the case.
Yeah,
that's right.
And there was a related story, or was on the same page. I just clicked on about one of the whistleblowers is now saying Hunter Biden was tipped off the night before he was interviewed by the DOJ regarding, and this might have been about the gun case, which is really a dumb case in my opinion, but just the whole, I don't know what is going on in DOJ or FBI, but I don't like it. It just seems like it's not what I thought it was, and I was probably just naive on my part. Anyway, let's cut out of the live feed. Sorry, everybody. Hey, before I say goodbye, though, subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're so close to 10,000. It'd be really cool if you did that.
Watch YouTube, guys. Just watch YouTube.